Chastising the king.
He will be acting beyond the scope of his powers
Over his unlawful action around the Ingonyama Trust. The EU expresses solidarity with South Africa over the Donald Trump saga. And Cape Town's gang bosses speak about their battles with their enemies. Hello, I'm Jane Dutton.
This is Eyewitness News.
Alleged Underworld gang boss Modack has testified about how he became enemies with the alleged Underworld figures Jerome Donkey Boysen and the now deceased Mark Lifman. Modack is in the dock today to present his evidence in chief. He faces 122 charges along with 14 others for various crimes relating to operating a criminal enterprise.
Modack says after he mediated the takeover of security at Cape Town's nightclubs from alleged Underworld figures Jerome Donkey Boysen and the now deceased Mark Lifman in 2017, he was called into a meeting with Major General Jeremy Veery. Modack told the court Veery, who was head of detectives in the Western Cape at the time, summoned him to a meeting at his office in central Cape Town. He says Veery questioned him about his intentions with Cape Town's nightclubs. Modack told the court he told Veery he wanted to make the clubs drug-free. He added Veery instructed him to split the nightclub security with Lifman 50-50, which he refused. Modack told the court before leaving the meeting, Veery told him, "You're either with us or against us." The trial continues. Carlo Peterson, Eyewitness News, Western Cape High Court.
Parliament says the AmaZulu king, Misizulu Kazwelatini, acted unlawfully when he suspended members of the Ingonyama Trust board before appointing himself as chairperson. Parliament's legal advisor told the Land Reform and Rural Development Committee today that only the minister has the exclusive authority to act on the board of the entity. Parliament's legal services briefed the committee on the legal foundations of the trust, as well as the ownership and vesting of the trust's property and assets. Legal advisor Bulilani Simani told MPs that the king, who also chairs the board, acted contrary to the law.
Having due regard to the above facts, it is quite evident that the chairperson of the board is not empowered in terms of legislation to either suspend or remove any member of the board, and therefore he will be acting beyond the scope of his powers.
Simani also says suspended board members are within their rights to seek legal recourse. The EFF in KwaZulu-Natal has opened a corruption case against the mayor of Umhlathuze, local municipality in Richards Bay, Northern KZN. The party is accusing Mayor Xolani Ngwezi of corruption and racketeering. The party says it has evidence of him facilitating a tender corruption.
Papers were filed 2 weeks ago. Durban High Court, the EFF is in court, compelling the municipality to declare our councillors. So we're not only fighting on the streets.
EWN has reached out to the mayor for a comment. We are still waiting for his response. The European Union in South Africa says it will support South Africa as it battles an onslaught from the Trump administration, which is freezing aid to the country over the Land Expropriation Act. In an online video, 4 ambassadors from Germany, Italy, France, and the European Union itself say they are committed to multilateralism and upholding constitutional values.
Just like you, we love our constitutional rights and protections, and we do believe in a non-racial, non-sexist democracy.
The EU's Deputy Ambassador, Pencho Garida-Royth, says as South Africa's most important trading partner, it can rely on the EU during its G20 presidency. The Umkhonto weSizwe Party says it'll make another push to amend Section 25 of the Constitution to allow for land expropriation without compensation. Its progressive caucus partner, the EFF, attempted this in 2018, but the bill failed to get across the line 3 years later. During a second day of debate on the State of the Nation address today, the MK party's Nhlamolo Ndlela said under Cyril Ramaphosa's presidency, South Africa is a failed state.
The MK party will not endorse half-baked legislation. We will push for an amendment of Section 25 of the Constitution to enable genuine land expropriation without compensation, to return the land to our people. And again, we know it's a failed state.
50 children in one class, the horrors facing our kids and teachers at some of our schools. We were reminded of the dire state of schools in Gauteng after the DA conducted an oversight visit. A viral video has also emerged on social media of a teacher raising concerns about the lack of resources to accommodate the big number of children in a class meant to fit less than 30.
I have had to resort to using some grade R tables because I don't have enough chairs and tables of my own. And the sad part is that I know that there are teachers that have even more, that have in the 70 kids in their class.
The DA's Sergio Issa dos Santos says it has written to the Gauteng Education Department on the matter.
The Gauteng Department of Education promised 4,000 satellite schools to fix this, but where are they? I've demanded answers and immediate action. We need mobile classrooms, we need proper infrastructure, and enough educators are urgently required.
A wheelchair-bound RDP applicant says she's been waiting for a free house from the Human Settlements Department since 1996. 68-year-old Peggy Sinosha still lives in her parents' home in Soweto. She is among the protesters led by community-based group National Social Ills who are asking for houses. The group is marching to the offices of the Human Settlements Department to hand over a memorandum of demands in Pretoria.
Sa apply ama RDP houses 1996 kuze kube namhlanje 2025 asiwatholi asikwazi ukuphila kabuhlungu ezweni lethu khona manje uma kungayiwa eBuyifureng nase Bramfishers la kunama RDP houses kuhlala ama foreigners.
Duduzile Zuma-Sambudla's future in the Umkhonto party has come under question after she failed to publicly apologize to the party's Secretary-General Floyd Shivambu for insulting him. Earlier this week, Zuma-Sambudla lashed out at Shivambu, calling him, quote, useless, and using an expletive to express her frustration. She was later instructed to apologize to Shivambu and the organization by her father and party leader Jacob Zuma. But in her public apology, Zuma-Sambudla only apologized to the party and its structures and made no mention of Shivambu.
That must mean that she doesn't have the kind of support that she might have imagined or we might have imagined when she was so emboldened.
Now, the city of Cape Town's popularity is contributing to high property rental prices. The city has won a few titles recently, all centered around the fact that it is one of the best cities in the world.
Cape Town, as I'm sure you know, really struggles with housing supply. We have a beautiful city with a beautiful mountain located in the middle of it, but that certainly limits the extent to which we're able to build property. And this isn't a new challenge that we face in the city. It's something that's sort of always been there. But what has started to create sort of an increased demand for property in Cape Town is Cape Town's outperformance relative to the rest of the country.
Thanks for watching with us. Don't forget to download the EWN app.
Eyewitness News, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.